Hey there and welcome to my channel. I'm Cassie and I've finally accepted the fact that my life is not stable enough for me to upload every Sunday. In fact, you may notice today is not even Sunday. I've decided not to limit myself in terms of uploading, so...
Gosh!
In honor of my new intro, I wanted to put up something big and special. So if you couldn't already tell from the title, this is going to be a bookshelf tour. Now, no one asked me to film this video, and I know you've heard this disclaimer a million times, but I just want to emphasize the point that I'm not doing this to brag or show off. I just really love watching these videos and I wanted to put up one of my own. So let's get on with the tour! Ugh. So here is just a general overview of my bookshelf. As you can see, my collection is a bit more modest than some other YouTubers here on YouTube. Katie Tastic comes to mind. But yeah, we're gonna go right in and start down there with that side spiral. So I don't have my bookshelf organized in any specific order, so the order that I pull these out in may seem very random because it is. But let's get started. First, over here on this side spiral, I just have this coffee candle that I use as decoration. But getting onto the actual books, I have Blue Bloods by Melissa de la Cruz, Masquerade by Melissa de la Cruz, Revelations by Melissa de la Cruz, and The Van Allen Legacy by Melissa de la Cruz. And these are the first 4 books in the Blue Bloods series by her. Then I have Marked by PC and Kristen Cast, Betrayed by PC and Kristen Cast, Chosen by PC and Kristen Cast, Untamed by Kristen and PC Cast, Hunted by PC and Kristen Cast, which is missing the dust cover, Tempted by PC and Kristen Cast, Burned by PC and Kristen Cast, and Awakened by PC and Kristen Cast. And those were the first 8 books in the House of Night series by PC and Kristen Cast. Then right in between that book spiral and my actual bookshelf, I just have some college catalogs from colleges I was looking at applying to. I have one from the Art Institute of Boston, Montserrat College of Art, another one from Montserrat College of Art, and finally one from Mass Art. Then moving on to the bottom row of my actual bookshelf, I'm going to pull out the ones that are just kind of laying on top of other books. I have 642 Things to Draw, and if you've seen any of my other bookish videos, you know that I love these kind of activity books. I have The Great Mysteries by Edgar Allan Poe, F in Exams by Richard Benson, The Best of What's Left of Heaven by Myriad Byrne, Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats by T.S. Eliot, Out of the Dust by Karen Hess, Love That Dog by Sharon Creech, Falling Up by Shel Silverstein, which is missing the dust cover, Fairy Dust and the Quest for the Egg by Gail Carson Levine, and Fairy Haven and the Quest for the Wand by Gail Carson Levine. Then all the way over here at the end, this very tiny book is my high school diploma. Right next to it is my high school yearbook, which I'm not going to pull out. But then I have The Legend of Zelda, a Hyrule Historia, 6 by Seuss, a treasury of Dr. Seuss classics. It has And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street, The 500 Hats of Bartholomew Cubbins, Horton Hatches the Egg, The Lorax, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and Yertle the Turtle. I have Norman Rockwell's Chronicles of America, I Love You With All My Heart by Norris Kern. You'll notice that I have a lot of childhood books because I like to save them. They are very sentimental to me. I have Arthur Spiderwick's Field Guide to the Fantastical World Around You, which is missing its dust cover. I have this sketchbook, which actually belonged to my sister, and she drew a bunch of fashion designs in it, but I always loved this book as a kid. I would always steal it from her just to look at them because I thought she was an amazing artist. I have this notebook which belonged to me in kindergarten, and we had to kind of keep it as a journal, but my lovely artistic skills when I was 6 years old. Then I have The Daring Book for Girls by Andrea J. Buchanan and Miriam Piskowski. I have An Adventure with Billy Bunny by Maurice Pledger. I have Flutterby by Cosgrove. I have Little Bo by Julie Andrews Edwards, and yes, it is the actress. I have There's a Witch Under My Stairs by Maggie Smith, which I actually showed in my opposite books tag. I have Journal Spelling by Diana Trout. I have Exhibition 36 by Suzanne Tuttle. I have Taking Flight by Kelly Ray Roberts. I have Creative Awakenings by Sherry Gaynor. I have Fill in the Blank by Viz. I have The Sketchbook Journal by Steve Peterman and Shane Zucker. I have Finish This Book by Carrie Smith. How to Be an Explorer of the World by Carrie Smith. Wreck This Journal by Carrie Smith, which is the only one I've actually done anything in. I'm trying to do them all one by one. This Is Not a Book by Carrie Smith, and Mess by Carrie Smith. I have Art Doodle Love by Dawn Dillians Sokel. I don't know if that's right. I have Pink Pages by Sarah Delming. And this is actually a little girly activity book I got from a Scholastics book pamphlet in like elementary school. I have It's Happy Bunny by Jim Benton, which I got from another Scholastics book pamphlet, you know. I have 17 Trauma by Heart Books. This is just a compilation from the trauma section in 17 magazine. Fairy Tales of the World by Edmund Dullock. A Little Book of Nonsense by Edward Lear. How the Leopard Got His Spots and Other Stories by Rudyard Kipling. And then we move on to my manga books and series. You'll see others throughout the bookshelf, but those are ones that I borrowed from a friend. These are the only ones I actually own. So first I have the Imadoki series by Yu Watasi. Here's the first book. Here's the second book. Here's the third book, the fourth book, and the fifth book. And this is actually a complete series. It only had 5 books. Then I have Flower of the Deep Sleep by Yuana Kazumi. And there's only 2 books in the series. This is the first one. I cannot find the second one anywhere. I swear I looked high and low and I can't find it anywhere. And I'm so upset because this is actually a really good book. Next I have 2 through 9 of the Vampire Knight series by Matsuri Hino. Here's the second book, the third book, the fourth book, the fifth, the sixth book, the seventh book, the 8th book, and the 9th. I actually lost the first book in the series, so I need to repurchase it, and I think there are 17 books that have come out in America, and I've actually read them all. I took out 10 through 17 from the library, so I'm all caught up on the series. I just don't own the books yet. Moving on, I have Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain by Betty Edwards. I have Psychology for Dummies by Adam Cash. I have the official Rocky Horror Picture Show movie novel, and I don't know who this is by because it's in such bad shape. And last on this row, I just have my Bible. Then moving on to the next shelf up, I just have the first 3 books in the Attack on Titan series by Yajim Isayama. Here's the first book, the second book, and the third book. Next, I have the first 4 books in the Yellow series by Makoto Teitino. Here's the first book, the second book, the third book, and the fourth book, and this is a yaoi series. Next I have Life of Pi by Yan Martel, A Million Suns by Beth Revis, and then hanging out up here I have When the Wind Blows by James Patterson, Color Me Swoon by Mel Elliott, The Lake House by James Patterson, which is the second book to When the Wind Blows, Emily Griffin, Love the One You're With, and this is Missing the Dust Cover, The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini, and The Host by Stephanie Meyer. Then down right behind this book, which you can't even see, I have Bogus to Bubbly by Scott Westerfeld, The Wonderful World of Oz by L. Frank Baum. I have The Freedom Writer's Diary by Erin Gruel, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, Holes by Louis Satcher, The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton, Speak by Laurie Halse Anderson, Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl, Maximum Ride, School's Out Forever by James Patterson, Maximum Ride, The Angel Experiment by James Patterson, and this is actually the first book in the series. These were out of order. Tantalize by Cynthia Lechith Smith, The Summoning by Kelly Armstrong, My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult, and then I have the Rainbow Boys trilogy. Rainbow Boys by Alex Sanchez, Rainbow High by Alex Sanchez, and Rainbow Road by Alex Sanchez. Take Me There by Susan Colasanti, FML by Sean David Hutchinson, The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. Sorry about the lighting change, I had to turn on the lights because the sun is going down. I have The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls, Looking for Alaska by John Green, Across the Universe by Beth Revis, Twilight by Stephanie Meyer, New Moon by Stephanie Meyer, The Half-Life of the Planets by Emily Franklin and Brendan Haplin, Dogfight: A Love Story by Matt Burgess. This is a book by Dimitri Martin, Egghead by Bo Burnham, It's Kind of a Funny Story by Ned Vizzini, Nightlight by the Harvard Lampoon, The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky, Miss Happiness and Miss Flower by Rumer Godden, and Angel Dust Apocalypse by Jeremy Robert Johnson. Then the next shelf up, down in front, I have Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver, and this is actually a library book that I'm reading right now. I have Dorothy Must Die by Danielle Page, Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alir Sands. I have Sunday at Tiffany's by James Patterson, She's Come Undone by Wally Lamb, and The 10th Circle by Jodi Picoult. And then hanging out up top, I just have I Love You, Beth Cooper by Larry Doyle. And then starting on the right side this time, I have Bliss by Lauren Miracle, The Grapes of Wrath by Steinbeck. His first name escapes me right now. Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie, Columbine by Dave Cullen, Things Not Seen by Andrew Clements, Thirst by Christopher Pike, The Vampire Diaries by L.J. Smith, Fang by James Patterson, Max by James Patterson, The Notebook Girls by Julia Baskin, Lindsay Newman, Sophie Paulette-Cohen, and Courtney Toombs, Wicked by Gregory Maguire, The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien, Winter's Child by Cameron Doki, Impulse by Ellen Hopkins, Wicked Lovely by Melissa Marr, Evermore by Alison Noel, The Lux by Anna Goberson, 50 Shades of Grey by E.L. James, The Maze Runner by James Dashner, A Love Story starring my dead best friend by Emily Horner, Dreamland by Sarah Dessen, That Summer by Sarah Dessen, and Third Wish by Robert Fulghum. And this is like the complete series, I guess you could say. And then finally on the topmost shelf, I just have two cards. One's from Valentine's Day and one is a thank you card. Down in front, I have a receipt for all the library books I took out. I have Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin, The Odyssey by Frederick Reichen, The Glass Menagerie by Tennessee Williams, Fat Pig by Neil LaBute, August Osage County by Tracy Letts, The Laramie Project, 10 Years Later by Moises Kaufman, Leigh Fondakowski, Greg Pierotti in Paris, Andy Paris, and Stephen Belver. Silver Linings Playbook by Matthew Quick, For One More Day by Mitch Abom, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson, The Girl Who Played with Fire by Stieg Larsson, and then resting on top, I have 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs, and Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Starting over here, I have my Divergent box set with all three books. The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey, The Time Traveler's Wife by Aubrey Niffenegger, Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen, The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold, The Almost Moon by Alice Sebold, Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert, The Help by Catherine Stockett, Charlie St. Cloud by Ben Sherwood, Tuesdays with Maury by Mitch Abaum, City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare, Kathy's Book by Stuart Wiseman and Brigg, Kathy's Key, also by Stuart Weisman Brigg, and Kathy's Ring by Stuart Weisman and Brigg. And just to clarify, that is not one person, that is 3 different people. I have The Odyssey by Homer, The Weight of Silence by Heather Gudenkoff, Carpe Diem by Autumn Cornwell, Germ by Robert Leparulo, Inkheart by Cornelia Fung, Ink Spell by Cornelia Fung, and Ink Death by Cornelia Fung. And finally, to the right of my bookshelf, I just have 2 sketchbooks, and in this bag I have all of the books I have taken out of the library currently. You saw one of them, which is Before I Fall. The other ones I have taken out are The Coldest Girl in Cold Town by Holly Black, Cinder by Marissa Mayer, and Scarlet by Marissa Mayer. So that's it! Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to spend with me. If you enjoyed this time, please take another minute to subscribe if you're not already, and you can spend some more time with me regularly throughout the month. Leave any suggestions for future videos you'd like to see down in the comments below, and I'll try and do my best to get to them all. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye!